Hello everyone, welcome to lecture number 3 of Indian Financial Reporting. In the last lecture we practiced questions based on discrete approach. Today also few questions will practice of discrete approach and then we will take up with integral approach where we discuss that only tax expense is to be recorded on the basis of integral approach, that is weighted average effective tax rate. All other incomes and expenses that will be taken on the basis of discrete approach. Look at question number 6 of your study material, be attended. Induga Corporation is dealing in seasonal product. Sales pattern of the product quarter-wise is as under. Following is the sales pattern of the product. See that. First quarter ending 30th June, 15% of sales take place. There's a pattern, means not exact but expected. Second quarter ending 30th September, 15% of sales of the whole year takes place. Third quarter ending 31st December, 50% of sales of the whole year takes place. Majority sales takes place, you can see in this particular quarter. 50% of total sales of the year takes place in third quarter. And fourth quarter, 25% of sales take place. Okay. Now, 15 and 15, 30 and 50, 80 must be 20% in that case. We get 20%. Now, for the first quarter ending on 30th June 2002, okay, first quarter, Induga Limited gives you the following information. Sales in the first quarter was 50 crores, means this 15% sales amounted to 50 crores, expected, okay. Means obviously in second quarter also it would be 50 crores, third quarter it would be more than 50 crores, far more, and fourth quarter it would be again more than 50 crores, expected. Now, salary and other expenses 35 crores. Administrative expenses routine 2 crores, administrative and selling expenses 8 crores. Okay. Induga Limited, while preparing interim financial report for first quarter, wants to differ. Differ means take in next quarter. Differ means take in next quarter. Okay. Wants to differ. Rupees 16 crores of expenditure, and next quarter means which quarter they are talking about? Third quarter. In first quarter they have incurred expense of 16 crore, means out of this expenses 35 plus 2, 37 plus 8, 45. Out of this 45 crores they want to defer 16 crores, means from 45 crores Induga Limited wants that 16 crores they take in third quarter. Why? Obviously because sales is more. So they say that 16 crores we should take it in third quarter, only remaining 45 minus 16, 29 crores they'll take in first quarter. On the argument that third quarter is having, as I said, why? Because third quarter is having more sales. Therefore, third quarter should be debited by more expenditure. But what did we study as per the AS25? Discrete approach. In whichever quarter the expense takes place, you recognize in that quarter only. In whichever quarter the income takes place, you recognize in that quarter only. So this approach of Induga Limited is wrong. They cannot take 16 crore in third quarter. Entire 45 crore of expenditure has to be taken in quarter 1 only, whether the sales are more in quarter 1 or less in quarter 1. Considering the seasonal nature of business and that expenditure are uniform throughout all the quarters, calculate the result of first quarter as per AS25 and comment on the company's view. First we'll comment on the company's view and then result means we have to make a small rough P&L statement. Okay, because sales are given, expenses are given, so we have to make small P&L statement and find out what is the result, means profit or loss. First we will comment on the company's views. All of you write down in the notebook. Okay, all of you write down in the notebook. Question number 6. That company's view is incorrect. Company's view is incorrect. As per AS25, discrete approach. As per AS25, discrete approach, company cannot differ. Okay, company cannot differ rupees 16 crore of expenditure to third quarter. company cannot defer rupees 16 crore of expenditure to third quarter. I hope everyone is clear with this. Accordingly, now we will show the results. Okay, accordingly, the results of first quarter are as below. Okay, accordingly, the results of first quarter are as below. So, rough P&L statement we will make. All of you will give the heading quarterly profit and loss statement. Okay, quarterly profit and loss statement for the quarter ending. This is the quarter ending, first quarter ending 30th June 2002. Okay, for the quarter ending 30th June 2002. Now, format will include particulars. Make this columns, everyone. Particulars. Okay, P&L statement, we make it as per company's format. So, particulars, note number and amount. Make 3 columns, everyone. Okay, particulars, note number and amount. Pause the video and make this small format. Small format means approximately 4 or 5 lines format only, because many items are not there. So small format is only to be there. Okay. I hope everyone is done with the format. So first we'll start with sales income, that is revenue from operations. That is, you all can see 50 crores in quarter 1. Okay. We write rupees in crores. Now total will also be 50 crores. Okay, total will also be 50 crores. From that we have to minus the expenses. Now, which all expenses are there? If you go as per the company's format, then we don't have first one, cost of raw material consumed, purchases, change in inventories, we don't have. We directly have this salary and other expenses which will come in employees benefit expenses. So employees benefit expenses, which will include salaries and other expenditure, that is given as 35 crores. Okay, so that one expense is 35 crores. Then after that, CDEF, finance cost we don't have. Then depreciation and amortization we don't have. In administrative and selling expenses, both will come in other expenses. So in other expenses we will have first administrative expenses, that is 2 crores. Then selling and other expenses, that is 8 crores. So we can do the total after that. Okay. Total of expenses would be 35 plus 2, 37 plus 8, 45 crores. Okay, these are total expenses. Then we'll have profit before tax. That will be incomes minus expenses. Okay, so 50 crores minus 45 crores, that is 5 crores. Okay, from 50 crores, if you subtract 45 crores of expense, profit before tax will be 5 crores. And that itself is our final answer. We don't have the tax in the question, right? So as per the discrete approach, 5 crores of profit will only be shown for quarter number 1. Now look at question number 1. Be attentive, everyone. Due to decline in the market price in second quarter, they are talking about second quarter. Okay, the market price has gone down in the second quarter. Petal Limited incurred an inventory loss because the market price has gone down. So whatever stock of goods the company is having, as the market price has gone down, they have incurred loss in that stock, inventory loss. The market price is expected to return to previous levels by the end of the year, means by the last quarter, in quarter 4. it is expected that the market price will return back to its original level. At the end of the year, the decline has not reversed. So when should the loss be reported in the interim profit and loss account of Petal Impact Limited? Again, as per the discrete approach, as it has taken place in second quarter, it should be reported in second quarter only. It cannot be taken to the end of the year. If it increases in the end of the year, we'll take the market price more in the further quarters. But presently, as the market price has gone down, as per the discrete approach, you will take it in second quarter. So write down as the solution in your notebook question 1. It's a theoretical answer only. So write down, as per AS25 discrete approach, inventory loss should be reported. Inventory loss should be reported in which quarter it has taken place? Second quarter. So in quarter 2 itself. Okay, this is our answer. Now look at question number 4. Everyone be attentive. Now here we take up with integral approach. From question number 4 onwards, we go with integral approach. Integral approach means for income tax, only for income tax expense we follow the integral approach. Okay, only for, we studied in lecture 1 that income tax expense is to be recognized as per integral approach, and the method applies is weighted average effective tax rate. Weighted average effective tax rate. This concept is to be applied. So we'll understand this weighted average effective tax rates concept from the coming questions. Now look at question number 4. Induga Limited accounting year ends on 30th September 2010 and reports quarterly. Now accounting year ends on 30th September, but it reports on quarterly basis. Since the accounting year ends on 30th September 2010, means we can say that it will be beginning on 1st October 2009. Accounting year ends on 30th September 2010 means that accounting year would begin on 1st October 2009. So company is not following April to March accounting year. Company is following October to September financial year. What is the financial year for the company? Company is following the accounting year as October to September. Company is following accounting year as October to September. Okay. And reports quarterly, means first quarter for the company is October, November, December. Second quarter for the company is January, February, March. Third quarter for the company is April, May, June. And fourth quarter for the company is July, August and September. However, for the purpose of tax, year ends on 31st March every year. Obviously, income tax department, you would have studied in income tax in last year, has made it very clear. Throughout the country, different entities may follow different accounting years. But for income tax purpose, you have to file income tax for the income from April to March only. So for the accounting year beginning on 1/10/09, as we discussed, will begin on 1/10/09 and ending on 39/10, the quarterly income is as under. Now, quarter ending 31/12/2009, it is 400 lakhs. Quarter ending 31/3/2010, it is 400 lakhs. Quarter ending 36/2010, it is 400 lakhs. And 39/2010 also it's 400 lakhs. All the quarters same income. 1600 lakhs. Average actual tax rate. Average actual tax rate for the financial year ending on 31/3/2010 is 30%, and for the financial year ending 31/3/2011 is 40%. Now, financial year ending 31/3/2010 means I can say these two quarters. Okay, these two quarters, 31/12/9 and 31/3/10. They belong to the financial year ending 31/3/2010, and these two, 36/10 and 39/10, will go in the next year 10-11. They will be belonging to the financial year 31/3/11. Okay, means on these two amounts the tax rate is 30%, and these two the tax rate falls at 40%. Calculate the tax expense for each quarter. Quite simple. On these two amounts you take 30% each, and on these two amounts you take 40% each. Here weighted average effective tax rate will not apply because year itself differs. Means for the accounting year ending 31/3/2010, as per the income tax you have to pay tax expense of 30%. So even if you follow integral approach, but these two quarters will belong to the financial year 31/3/10, and the income tax expense on levied on those will be 30% only. So company has to report the expense of 30% only. What is that? What is for that particular financial year? And 31/3/11 year, whichever two quarter belongs, as the income tax financial year is changing, so income tax rate is changing. So there it will again be at 40% only. Okay. So that weighted average effective tax rate concept still does not apply in question 4. Why? Because two quarters fall in one financial year and two quarters fall in another financial year. If all the 4 quarters are of the same financial year, then we have to find the weighted average effective tax rate. But in the year 31/3/10 means financial year 31/3 tax, as per the income tax rate itself, tax rate is 30%. So on in quarters belonging to that financial year, company has to report the tax expense of 30%. And whichever quarters are belonging to the financial year ending 31/3/11, tax rate is 40%. So company has to report the tax expense of 40%. So very simple answer, you all write down. Tax expense for various quarters. Tax expense for various quarters is reported as below. Tax expense for various quarters is reported as below. For quarter 1, ending 31/12/09, it will be 400 lakhs into 30%, that is rupees in lakhs, 120 lakhs. Again, quarter 2, ending 31/3/10. These two belongs to the financial year 31/3/2010. So 30% tax is there. Here also 400 into 30%, the tax expense reported will be 120. Then quarter 3, ending 36/10. Now this goes to the next financial year. So 400's 40%, it will be calculated as 160. And for the quarter 4, ending 39/2010, again it will be going to 40% because it belongs to the next financial year. So that will again be 160. Total tax expense for the whole year will come to 100, 200, 300, 400, 440 and 60, 560. Okay. So this will be the tax expense reported in each quarter. I hope everyone is clear with it. I repeat, right now we have not applied the concept of weighted average effective tax rate. Weighted average effective tax rate concept applies only for one financial year. If all the 4 quarters were either of 31/3/2010 or of 31/3/2011, then we would have applied the weighted average effective tax rate concept. However, we are following integral approach only. In this 2 quarters, as per the integral approach of financial year 31/3/10, the tax rate is 30%, so you have to report the tax expense of 30%. And next year, as the tax expense goes to 40%, you have to report the tax expense of 40%. Okay, so actual amount only of the respective year we are reporting over here. Now, question number 5, be attentive. Now, if you look at question number 5, here you'll understand the real meaning of weighted average effective tax rate. NDA Limited presents interim financial report quarterly and earns rupees 600 lakhs pre-tax, means profit before tax, pre-tax profit in the first quarter. Okay, in the first quarter ending 30th June 2010. but expects to incur loss of rupees 200 lakhs in each of the 3 remaining quarters, which will result into zero income during the financial year, because 600 lakhs you earn in first quarter, 200, 200, 200 means 600 lakhs of loss in the remaining 3 quarters. So zero income. Effective income tax rate is expected to be 35%. Calculate the income tax expense to be reported in each quarter as per AS 25. Now understand this. Even if the overall income will be zero, but since you have a profit in first quarter, you have to show the tax expense in first quarter, 35%. And this is directly effective tax rate given to you. Okay, we also discussed that we have to do income tax as per which tax rate? Effective tax rate. So effective tax rate means weighted average effective tax rate is already given as 35%. Okay, weighted average effective tax rate is already given as 35%. We cannot say that overall zero income will be there, so no tax expense will be shown, because quarter 1 earns profit, so in quarter 1 tax has to be there, and the same tax will be reversed in quarter 2, 3 and 4, because in quarter 2, 3 and 4 there is a loss. Okay, so when we report it quarterly, then in quarter 1, because there is a profit, though it is an integral part of the whole year and overall tax is going to be zero, but as per the integral approach itself, first quarter you earn profit, so you have to show the tax expense, which is to be reversed in the next 3 quarters, being an integral part of the year, as you incur loss in the next 3 years. So how will we show over this income tax expense? Line income tax expense and write down as per AS 25 integral approach. Now here we are applying integral approach. Okay, so as per AS 25 integral approach, income tax expense to be reported, income tax expense to be reported in each quarter is as below. Now quarter 1, since there is a profit of 600 lakhs, so 600 lakhs into 35% is weighted average effective tax rate directly given. So 600 lakhs into 35%, that is 210. Okay, 210 rupees in lakhs. This much of tax expense will be shown in quarter 1. Quarter 2, now in the next 2 quarters there will be loss of 200 lakhs, so negative means you write it in bracket, into 35%, that is 70 lakhs will be reversed. Okay, 70 lakhs of income tax expense will be reversed in quarter 2. Same way in quarter 3 also, negative 200 lakhs into 35%. So 70 lakhs of tax expense will be reversed in quarter 3, and same way in quarter 4 also, negative 200 lakhs into 35%. So 70 lakhs will be reversed in quarter 4. Total tax expense will come nil, but in each of the quarters, quarter 1 we will show tax expense of 210 lakhs, and quarter 2, 3 and 4 we will reverse, will show negative tax expense of 70 lakhs. I hope everyone is clear with this. Now last question, question number 7 related to income tax. Understand this. NDA Limited presents interim financial report quarterly. On 1/4/2009, NDA Limited has carried forward loss of rupees 400 lakhs. Carried forward loss means in the last year the loss could not be written off entirely from the profits, and as per the income tax you can carry forward the loss for 4 to 8 years. So here the last year's loss of 400 lakhs is carried forward in the current year for income tax purpose, for which deferred tax asset has not been recognized, means we have to recognize it in the current year. We have to adjust this loss of 400 lakhs in the current year. We have an opportunity to adjust this deferred tax asset, and deduct or reduce our tax liability by 400 lakhs of profit in the current year. NDA Limited earns rupees 500 lakhs in each for quarter ending 36 2009, 39 2009, 12 and 31 3 2000. It means all the 4 quarters. Okay, this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4. This is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4. In each of the quarters 500 lakhs is expected, but excluding the loss carried forward. So if we adjust the loss in the current year, then 500 lakhs into 4, 2000 lakhs. From 2000 lakhs, 400 lakhs of loss will get adjusted. So we will have to pay tax only on 1600 lakhs. We can get the benefit of carried forward loss. Income tax rate is expected to be 40%. Now this is not effective tax rate. 40% tax is on 1600 lakhs, but what is the effective tax rate? You'll understand from this question how to count it. Calculate the amount of tax expense to be reported in each quarter. Now, all of you understand this. How to find the effective tax rate? Be attentive. Very first of all, 500 lakhs into 4 quarters means what is the total profits of all the 4 quarters? 2000 lakhs. Okay, total profit of the year 2009 to 10 is equal to rupees in lakhs 2000. From that we will minus carried forward loss. So carried forward loss is 400 lakhs. We will adjust it in the current year. Means taxable profits will become 1600 lakhs. Now tax rate is 40%, means what will be income tax on this? What will be the income tax on this 1600 lakhs? 1600 into 40%. That will be 640 lakhs income tax. Now what is the meaning of this weighted average effective tax rate? Understand it. Weighted average effective tax rate. Understand the concept of weighted average effective tax rate. We have to pay 640 lakhs of profit. Okay, we have to pay 640 lakhs of tax. Understand it first, then write it. And we have to pay it on 2000 lakhs only. Profits before tax are 2000 lakhs only. We have to pay 640, though we are calculating on 1600. But why are we calculating on 1600? Because we adjusted the loss of 400. Otherwise, in this year, we are earning profits of 2000 lakhs and our tax liability is coming only 640 lakhs. Means again 640 lakhs, our tax liability is coming only 2000. So what is the effective tax rate? 640 divided by 2000 into 100. 640, do it everyone in calculator. 640 divided by 2000 into 100. Effective tax rate is only 32%. Means though 40% tax is calculated on 1600, which comes to 640 lakhs, if same tax you count on 2000 lakhs, then that would be coming to 32% only. Means effectively on current year's profit of 2000 lakhs, we are paying only tax of 32%, which comes to 640 lakhs. This is called weighted average effective tax rate. This weighted average effective tax rate we will apply on every quarter's profit. Means by the integral approach, the benefit of that 400 lakhs you will give in each and every quarter. The benefit of that 400 lakhs will be given to each and every quarter. Therefore, tax expense to be reported. Okay, therefore tax expense to be reported in each quarter is as below. Tax expense to be reported in each quarter is as below. Quarter 1, since you earn 500 lakhs of profit, the weighted average effective tax rate comes to 32%. So 500 lakhs into 32%, you will report the tax expense of 160 lakhs. And exactly same way in quarter 2, 3 and 4, because in all the quarters you are going to earn 500 lakhs only. So again 500 lakhs into 32%, in each quarter you are going to report 160 lakhs of income tax expense. So though the actual tax rate is 40%, but because of adjustment of carried forward loss, the effective tax rate goes down to 32% only, and that benefit will be given to each quarter if you go by integral approach. So in each and every quarter 1, 2, 3 and 4, what you will be reporting is 500 lakhs into 32%, that is 160 lakhs, and total profit of all the 4 quarters will therefore come to 640 lakhs. I hope everyone is clear with this. Okay, so all the questions based on integral approach, that is tax based questions, we have covered today in question number 4, 5 and 7. I hope everyone is clear with those questions. An extra practice of similar questions you all can do from the paper set, university paper set. Okay, in the next lecture we'll take up with the important theory part from this chapter and wind up with this chapter. That'll be all in this lecture. Bye everyone, take care, see you in the next lecture.